My name is Jake Thomas. I'm from BioBuzz. I am our Director of Talent, Community, and Employer Brand, and I am here with Jim from Kite. Jim is their new site head for the 275,000 square foot facility that they've just built in Frederick, Maryland, that they're looking to staff up right now. So I wanted to bring Jim over to talk a little bit about why somebody should bring their career to Kite. So Jim, before I get into that, tell me a little bit about yourself and the work you're doing.
Yeah, so microbiologist by training. I have an MBA from Michigan State, and I went the traditional pharma route that everybody's supposed to. And after big pharma acquisition after acquisition, started to get to the part where I wanted to do something a little bit different. So after a stint with Novartis, I went to an up and coming biotech called Regeneron, and I love the pace. It is aggressive. We have something that everybody needs, and you really learned a really good pace in research as well as manufacturing there. But as you kind of get to the mid of your career, you start thinking about what are you going to do next. And I thought I need to do something that is going to compile a lot of the things that I've learned in the past and where the industry is going. And as a microbiologist, I've done some genetic engineering of strains, looking where cell therapy was coming and looking at the potentials of cancer and the cure. Yeah. There's nothing more challenging, there's nothing more exciting about being a part of this industry. So that's a little bit about my background, and after Regeneron, I said, I'm going to go the cell therapy route and let's see what we can do to bring these kinds of cures and ideas to the world.
And you're an adventurer. I mean, you're somebody who's moved all around. You're telling me just before we sat down, do you find that adventurous, innovative, excited, is that like a common trait of a lot of the folks that you've met at Kite?
We've got a lot of people who are really good at asking how and why, and then what's next.
Yeah.
So what I loved about Kite is when I was down in MD Anderson, down at University of Texas in Houston, a lot of that was really focused on how do we be able to bring the early research to the patient, and I really started to get an intimate understanding of the courage that these patients have to be able to put their hands into their lives into the hands of their oncologists, and you're really a part of a team there. With here, looking at Kite, I was looking for something, and my skills are really bringing things on a larger scale. I always thought, if I could build a facility, it's going to look like this. And then here comes Kite, and they've already built it, except it's bigger than I ever imagined. Yeah. So what really drew me to Kite was they've got proven technology, they've got fantastic capabilities, the skill sets and the people are just energetic, always looking for something more to do and a better way to do it. And there's the courage. I mean, it is a build it, and we've got confidence in ourselves that it will come. And to me, there was no other company to be a part of than Kite.
Yeah, and I mean, Kite has representation at a lot of the BioBuzz events. Yeah. I mean, it's very clear to me that community, patient, those are two things that are top of mind at Kite. Yeah. So our community, if I'm out there looking for a role right now, why should I take my career to Kite?
Well, it's again, you just said it, it's a career. So we can start out, we've just started our apprenticeship with Frederick Community College. I'm so proud of that. My brother came up through the apprenticeship in the electrical union back in my home state. I spent a lot of time in Germany and seeing the apprenticeships coming in. We're starting that here. And it's just fascinating to be able to get young talent in, develop them as they're going to school, and really putting them through the paces for their entire career. The other thing is that in Kite, you're able to see other functions. Most other places we will keep saying, if you want to do a stint in quality and learn about quality, most other companies will say, well, you don't have 5 or 10 years of experience, so therefore you can't. Not at Kite. We really encourage people to move into different areas to really get a more holistic view. So people with manufacturing experience have a great experience and something to offer in quality. Quality people who have operation skills have a better decision-making ability and vision. So we highly encourage that. But on top of that, the facility that we have here, it's part of a global network. So we have major operations in California. We also have a facility in Amsterdam, and this is a part of a global network. So we really encourage sites collaborating with each other rather than competing with each other. So from my perspective, there's really no better place to come to be able to challenge yourself, take some of your ideas, be able to improve things, and to be quite honest, what we establish tomorrow is not going to be there in 5 years. It's all going to grow. It's all going to improve. And for people who like that pace, there's no better place to come.
All right. Well, we're losing our light here. It's getting a little dark on us, but the last thing I wanted to ask you, you're relatively new to Kite. You joined in January. What's the biggest thing that shocked you? What's been the most fun part about that experience for you?
Well, I have to tell you, the biggest thing that shocked me was they were building this facility in the middle of a pandemic. And when a lot of people are, rightfully so, they're hunkering down. You've got people there bringing this facility, coming through in COVID, and
Doing it safely. Yeah.
and doing it safely, and just the courage to be able to do this. So, and when I came here, most of the other places I've ever been, it's more of a startup, more of a turnaround. I inherited a really fantastic organization, extremely competent leadership team, and this just been exciting. So we've been sort of, once I had joined, it's where can we go together? And it's just been fascinating the entire ride.
I love that. Well, Jim, I've pulled you away from the beer here at Brookfield Beer Farm for a little bit too long here, so I appreciate you coming, having this conversation with me. And to our members of our BioBuzz community, if you're looking for a place where you can go make a difference, think about making a Kite.